Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Easy English Talk Podcast. Priya, hey, how are you doing today?
Ryan, I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. I actually had a very calm and productive morning, which feels rare these days. How about you?
Honestly, I had a great day too. I started my morning with a long walk and it just set a really good tone for the whole day. It's funny how small things like that can make such a big difference.
That's so true. A calm morning really does change everything. I think we actually talk about something related to that today, which I'm genuinely excited about.
Yes, we do. And I think our listeners are going to love this one. But before we jump in, I want to take a moment to say hello to everyone listening right now. Wherever you are in the world, we are so happy you are here with us today.
Yes, a big warm welcome to all of you. Whether you are listening on your commute, relaxing at home, or taking a break from work, we are glad you chose to spend this time with us.
And we would genuinely love to know where you are listening or watching from today. Drop a comment and tell us your city or your country. We read every single one, and it really means a lot to us.
It really does. Seeing where our listeners come from always reminds us how big and beautiful this community is. So please, don't be shy. Say hello in the comments.
Also, we want to ask you something honestly. Is this podcast helping you improve your English? Is it helping you grow in your personal life too? We would love to hear your thoughts, so share them with us below.
Your feedback helps us make every episode better for you. So if something we said ever helped you, or if there is something you want us to talk about, let us know.
Today, we are discussing 9 things successful Muslims do every Ramadan. And I truly believe that even if you are not Muslim, so much of what we talk about today can apply to your life in a very meaningful way.
Absolutely. Ramadan is a month that is deeply spiritual, but it is also a time of incredible personal discipline, focus, and transformation. And those are things that every person can benefit from.
If you have ever wondered how some people come out of Ramadan feeling completely renewed, more focused, and stronger than before, while others feel like they just survived it, this episode is going to answer that question for you.
By the end of this conversation, you will have 9 clear, practical habits that you can reflect on and even apply to your own life, no matter who you are or where you are from.
So let's begin by talking about Ramadan itself for just a moment, because I think it helps to understand what this month actually is before we talk about what successful people do during it.
Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. It is a month where Muslims around the world fast from before sunrise until sunset every single day. And fasting here means no food, no water, and focusing deeply on their faith.
But Ramadan is not just about not eating. It goes so much deeper than that. It's about reflection, gratitude, self-discipline, and becoming a better version of yourself. That is why it's such a powerful month.
And the truth is, many people approach Ramadan without a clear plan. They fast, they go through the days, and then the month ends, and they feel like they did not really gain what they could have. That is the struggle we want to talk about first.
That is such an important point, because the potential of Ramadan is enormous, but without intention and structure, it can pass by very quickly and quietly. And that is something successful Muslims understand very well.
They know that Ramadan is not just a calendar event. It's a window of opportunity. And like any opportunity, if you approach it with a clear mindset and strong habits, the results can be life-changing.
So let us talk about the first thing successful Muslims do every Ramadan. And this one might sound simple, but it's actually the foundation of everything else. They set a clear intention before Ramadan even begins.
Setting an intention in Arabic is called making a niyyah, and it is more than just saying what you plan to do. It's about being honest with yourself about why you are doing it and what you want to gain from this month.
A person who enters Ramadan with a clear intention already has direction. They know what they are working towards spiritually, personally, and emotionally. That clarity changes how they experience every single day of the month.
Without intention, fasting can feel like just going through the motions. You get hungry, the day passes, you eat at sunset, and you repeat. But with a strong intention, every moment feels purposeful and connected to something bigger.
And this is something that applies to all of us, not just during Ramadan. Whenever we begin something important, whether it is a new job, a new habit, or a new chapter in life, starting with a clear intention makes all the difference.
It is like having a destination before you start driving. Without it, you might be moving, but you have no idea where you are going. Intention gives you direction and helps you stay on track when things get hard.
The second thing successful Muslims do every Ramadan is they plan their time carefully. Ramadan changes the entire rhythm of the day. Meals happen at different times, prayers are added, sleep patterns shift, and there is simply more to do.
People who do well in Ramadan do not just go with the flow and hope everything works out. They sit down and actually think about how their day will look. They decide when they will pray, when they will read, when they will rest.
This kind of daily planning prevents chaos, and chaos is one of the biggest reasons people feel exhausted and unproductive during Ramadan. When you have no structure, every day feels like you are just reacting to whatever comes next.
Successful people create a simple but real schedule. They know what time they will wake up for the pre-dawn meal called suhoor, how they will use the quiet hours of the morning, and how they will manage their energy throughout the day.
They also plan their evenings wisely. The time after breaking the fast, called iftar, can easily be spent in distraction or overeating. But people who succeed in Ramadan protect that time and use it intentionally.
It is really about being proactive instead of reactive. And again, this is a principle that works in any area of life. If you plan your time, you control your day. If you do not, your day controls you.
The third habit is one that I find truly fascinating. Successful Muslims reduce distractions during Ramadan. They actively and deliberately cut back on things that steal their time and attention.
During Ramadan, many successful Muslims reduce how much time they spend on social media, entertainment, and casual scrolling, not because these things are forbidden, but because they recognize that this month is too valuable to spend on noise.
Think about how much time we lose every day to things that don't actually matter. A few minutes here, a few minutes there, and suddenly hours have passed, and we have nothing meaningful to show for them.
In Ramadan, successful people become very aware of this. They treat their time like something precious, because it is. And when you remove the distractions, you suddenly have space for things that actually feed your soul and your mind.
This is such a powerful idea, because distraction is one of the greatest enemies of growth, and most of us are surrounded by more distraction than we have ever had in human history, right in our pockets, on our screens, everywhere.
Reducing distraction, even slightly, can have a dramatic effect on how focused, calm, and productive you feel. And Ramadan gives Muslims a natural reason and motivation to do this. That structure actually helps them follow through.
Now, the fourth thing that successful Muslims do every Ramadan is they increase their reading of the Quran with deep understanding. This is one of the most central practices of Ramadan, and successful people take it very seriously.
The Quran was first revealed during the month of Ramadan, which is why reading it during this time holds extra significance. But what separates successful people is not just how much they read, but how they read it.
They do not rush through it simply to finish. They slow down, they reflect on the meaning, they think about how the words connect to their life. That kind of reading transforms a person from the inside.
Reading with reflection is something that applies to any meaningful text, whether it is a religious book, a personal development book, or even a piece of meaningful writing. The goal is not to consume, it is to absorb and understand.
And there's something really beautiful about dedicating time every day to reading something that challenges you and makes you think more deeply. It builds a kind of inner strength and perspective that you carry with you long after you finish.
Successful Muslims make this a daily non-negotiable during Ramadan. They protect that reading time like it is sacred, because to them, it truly is. And that consistency is what creates real change over the course of a month.
The fifth habit is something that I think surprises people when they first hear it. Successful Muslims are extremely consistent with their prayers during Ramadan, even more than usual, and they treat each prayer as a moment of real connection, not just a routine.
Muslims pray 5 times a day throughout the year, but during Ramadan there is an additional prayer called Tarawih, which is performed at night. And successful people do not see this as an extra burden. They see it as an extra gift.
The mindset shift is significant. When prayer feels like a burden, people do the minimum and move on. But when prayer feels like a conversation with something greater, people look forward to it and return to it fully present.
And that presence is what makes the difference. You can go through the physical motions of prayer without your heart being in it at all. But when you are truly present, when you are focused and sincere, it changes how you feel afterward. This idea of being fully present in what you are doing is one of the most powerful lessons we can take from Ramadan. Whether it is prayer, work, or a conversation with someone you love, presence transforms the quality of everything. Successful Muslims protect their prayer times during Ramadan. They do not let meetings, meals, or entertainment push prayer aside. That discipline and priority is something that carries enormous benefits, both spiritually and personally.
The sixth habit successful Muslims do every Ramadan is they give generously. Charity, called sadaqah, is one of the most emphasized acts during this month, and successful people do not treat it as optional.
Giving during Ramadan takes many forms. Some people give money to those in need. Some give food. Some give their time and energy to serve others. The form matters less than the sincerity and consistency behind it.
And there is something that happens inside a person when they give genuinely. It shifts your perspective from what you lack to what you have. It connects you to others and reminds you that your life is part of something larger than yourself.
Research in psychology actually supports this. People who give regularly report feeling happier, more fulfilled, and less anxious than those who focus only on receiving. Generosity is genuinely good for the giver, not just the receiver.
Successful Muslims understand this deeply. They do not give because they have extra. They give because giving is part of who they want to be. And Ramadan reinforces and strengthens that character every single day.
There is also a social dimension to this. Giving connects communities. When people see generosity, it inspires more generosity. Ramadan creates a culture of giving that ripples outward and touches many lives beyond the individual who gives.
The seventh habit is one that goes a little deeper, and it is about managing behavior and emotions. Successful Muslims actively work on their character during Ramadan. They are not just fasting from food, they are fasting from negativity.
There is a well-known teaching in Islam that says if someone provokes you or insults you while you are fasting, you should simply say, "I am fasting." The message is clear. Fasting is not just physical. It includes your words, your reactions, and your attitude.
This is incredibly powerful because we all know how easy it is to lose your patience when you are hungry, tired, or stressed. But Ramadan asks Muslims to hold themselves to a higher standard, even in those difficult moments.
Successful people take this seriously. They become more aware of how they speak to others, how they respond when they are frustrated, and how they treat the people around them. That self-awareness is a form of real spiritual and personal growth.
Think about how transformative it would be if all of us chose to pause before reacting. If we said to ourselves, "I want to respond better than my first impulse." That is exactly what Ramadan trains Muslims to do, and the results over a full month are significant.
This habit of emotional self-regulation is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop, and Ramadan provides a structured environment for practicing it every single day. That is a profound gift if you choose to use it.
The eighth thing successful Muslims do every Ramadan is they prioritize rest and take care of their physical well-being. And I know this might sound surprising given how demanding Ramadan can be, but it is genuinely important.
Ramadan changes your sleep schedule. You wake earlier for sahur, you stay up later for night prayers, and your body is adjusting to a new eating pattern. If you don't manage your rest carefully, exhaustion will take over, and you will not be able to do anything well.
Successful people are realistic about this. They do not try to do everything at once or push themselves to collapse. They listen to their body, they rest when they need to, and they make sleep a priority alongside all their other Ramadan commitments.
This balance is something many people struggle with during Ramadan. They feel guilty for resting, as if resting is somehow wasted time. But successful Muslims understand that rest is part of the process, not a break from it.
Your body needs to recover. Your mind needs stillness. And when you rest well, you show up better for everything else, for your prayers, your family, your work, and your personal growth. Rest is not the enemy of productivity. It is the foundation of it.
This is a lesson that goes far beyond Ramadan. In our modern culture, rest is often treated as laziness, but the most effective people in the world understand that sustainable performance requires genuine rest. Ramadan teaches this beautifully.
And the ninth and final thing that successful Muslims do every Ramadan is perhaps the most important of all. They reflect deeply on their life, and they make a sincere commitment to carry their Ramadan habits beyond the month itself.
This is where so many people fall short. They have a beautiful Ramadan. They pray more, they give more, they are more patient and more disciplined. And then Ramadan ends, and within a few days or weeks, they return to exactly who they were before.
Successful Muslims are aware of this danger. They use the final days and nights of Ramadan, especially the last 10 nights, which are considered the holiest of the entire month, to reflect on who they have become and who they want to continue being.
They ask themselves honest questions. What did I improve during this month? What habits do I want to keep? Where did I fall short and why? That kind of honest self-reflection is rare and incredibly valuable.
And then they make a plan. Not a perfect plan, not an overwhelming plan, but a simple and realistic commitment to carry at least some of what they built in Ramadan into the rest of their year.
Even carrying 1 or 2 good habits forward from Ramadan can change the entire direction of a person's life over time. Small, consistent improvements compound into something extraordinary if you give them enough time.
This idea of reflection and commitment is the bridge between Ramadan and real life change. And it is what separates people who are transformed by Ramadan from people who simply survive it and start over again next year.
It is such a meaningful distinction. Transformation requires intention, consistency, and a willingness to look honestly at yourself. And Ramadan, when approached with all the habits we have discussed today, creates the perfect environment for that transformation.
So let us take a moment to bring everything together. We talked about 9 things that successful Muslims do every Ramadan. And these 9 habits form a complete picture of how to live a month, or honestly any period of your life, with real purpose and depth.
The first was setting a clear intention before the month began. The second was planning their time carefully so that each day has structure and direction. The third was reducing distractions and protecting their attention for what truly matters.
The fourth was reading deeply with reflection, not just going through words, but absorbing their meaning. The fifth was being fully present and consistent in prayer, approaching it as a genuine connection rather than a routine obligation.
The sixth was giving generously, not because they have excess, but because generosity is part of who they choose to be.
The seventh was actively managing their emotions and their behavior, fasting not just from food, but from negativity. The eighth was prioritizing rest and taking care of their physical well-being, understanding that sustainable effort requires genuine recovery.
And the ninth was reflecting deeply and committing to carry their growth beyond Ramadan into everyday life.
These 9 habits are not complicated, but they require something that most people find difficult, and that is consistency, honesty, and intention. And Ramadan provides a powerful framework for practicing all of these things together. What I love about these habits is that they are universally valuable. No matter who you are, where you are from, or what you believe, living with intention, managing your time, reducing distraction, giving generously, and reflecting on your growth are habits that will improve your life.
Ramadan shows us that when a person has a strong enough reason to change and a structured environment to support that change, real transformation is possible. And that is an inspiring and hopeful message for all of us.
To every Muslim listening right now, we hope this episode added something meaningful to your Ramadan this year. We hope it reminded you of what this beautiful month truly offers and inspired you to approach it with everything you have.
And to every listener who is not Muslim, we hope you found something here that resonated with you, and that you can take at least one of these ideas and apply it to your own life in your own way.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today on Easy English Talk Podcast. It means everything to us that you chose this episode, and we hope your English felt a little smoother and your thinking felt a little deeper by the end of it.
If this episode helped you, please share it with someone who might benefit from it. Leave us a comment telling us which of the 9 habits you found most powerful or most surprising. We genuinely love hearing from you.
And before you go, we want to invite you to explore more episodes right here on Easy English Talk Podcast. We have conversations on personal growth, everyday English, motivation, culture, and so much more.
Every episode is designed to help you grow, think more clearly, and feel more confident in your English. So take a look around, find a topic that speaks to you, and keep the conversation going.
From both of us, take care of yourselves, stay curious, and we will see you in the next episode. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone celebrating, and a warm goodbye to all of our wonderful listeners around the world.
Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep growing, keep listening, and keep speaking with confidence. Goodbye, everyone.